Hello, everyone. My name is John, and welcome to the ExpertGate interview series. Today, we are privileged to have Dr. Nadine Campbell with us. Dr. Campbell is an accomplished academic with over 25 years of experience in organizational behavior, industrial relations, and human resource management. She is currently a lecturer and program advisor at Western Sydney University and serves as the international lead for the USA, facilitating international collaboration and partnerships. Dr. Campbell is also the managing director of Abydos Academy and a dedicated mentor for underserved communities through the Campbell and Campbell Enterprises Foundation. Dr. Campbell, thank you so much for joining us today. Could you please share with us an overview of your journey and what inspired you to really pursue a career in these fields?
Hi, John. Thanks for having me. My mom always said it was a calling to be an academic. As a child, I would line up my dolls and teach them. And when I went to Berkeley, it just opened up a new world for me. I started life in space defense and moved into management consulting, but my passion was always in academia and teaching. And my parents and I started the Campbell and Campbell enterprise in the US because originally we're from Jamaica. And so, coming from a third world country, we had lots of friends and people coming to the US, but had no idea about the educational system and what they needed to do. Nobody knew what an SAT was. So, it was really my starting point for helping disadvantaged students. I then came over to Sydney to do a PhD and ended up working at Western Sydney as an academic. And through my role as international lead and a subject that you yourself took, John, called business academic skills, I saw this great need for international students
Mm,
coming in. I mean, they come in and they have to deal with a new culture and they have to deal with a new language, which is still English. I've discovered living in many English countries, Canada, the US, Australia, and I've got a husband from England, that not all English is the same. And they're actually almost like learning a new language. Adding on to that, then this whole notion of academic literacy or
mm,
academic language. And through BAS, I was able to educate students on what it is to read and analyze academic pieces. And this really ties back into what you guys are doing at ExpertGate.
mm. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, look, it's quite a journey from Jamaica and all the way to Australia and engaging with all these different kind of communities, and really look with BAS itself. It's a with business academic skills. It is a critical component to anything, right? And it doesn't matter what kind of course you're doing, right? You need to really utilize those English skills in the first place, right? Dr. Campbell, as you engage with ExpertGate, what types of projects or collaborations are you most excited to pursue? Are there any particular areas where you believe your expertise could make a significant impact?
Well, I'm really excited we're looking at a discovery project grant, an ARC grant on preparing academic graduates for Industry 5.0. So that, this notion of the role of educational institutions and industry working together. I mean, I've been a tech head. Before Marvel became popular, I was a Marvel geek back in the 70s. And you see Iron Man, and in the 90s they introduced Homer, which is today's Jarvis, this
Mm,
AI that helps people work. And so I'm really excited about how educational institutions and industry are going to work together with supporting this AI mediated experience. And again, going back to these notions of academic skills,
mm,
it's pointless engaging AI if you truly can't. Um, understand and analyze the information that's given. So, for example, when Tony Stark from Stark Industries says to Jarvis, I want to do X, Y, and Z, if Tony Stark didn't have the critical analysis skills to actually understand what Jarvis was saying to him, AI is useless. So,
Mm,
moving into this Industry 5.0, we need to be really on top of our critical analysis, our engagement, and our understanding the difference between description, analysis, and recommendations and how they work together. And um, educational institutions can really bring that to the fore through academic literacy. And industry can bring that to the fore by looking at those, providing those practical experiences to marry up with academic analysis. So that's the project I'm most excited about.
Oh, that's very exciting. And it makes total sense, Dr. Campbell. I mean, at the end of the day, AI and all of that is a tool, right? And if
Correct.
you don't have the language capacity to utilize that tool and interact with it properly, it's you're not going to get the full benefit out of using it, right? And you're just limiting yourself at the end of the day. So, look, Dr. Campbell, for us at ExpertGate, we have a heavy emphasis upon social impact and equitable access for education and resources. Now, how do you see your work, particularly in mentoring and international education, contributing towards this positive social change?
Well, I am in discussions with Mohammed, your principal, to bring, because like I said, like you said, I've got a organization called Abydos Academy, and that is looking at academic literacy. And currently, I'm marketing in third world countries because, like I said, these students are coming over and they think, the Cambridge Institute IELTS is the be all and the end all to get into university. And they're really not prepared academically. So I will be working with ExpertGate to move my course onto your platform and be able to reduce the price of these offerings. So they'll
Mm,
be online, so self-paced online courses, and then look at actually going into country and offering face-to-face courses for students on a weekend. So, that for that extra attention. And so that's what I'm looking at to create some social impact for these emerging economies and preparing our students, no matter where they are,
yes.
for Industry 5.0.
Wonderful, wonderful. Look, and Dr. Campbell, I mean, for us, we at ExpertGate, we are committed to supporting these underprivileged communities through Industry 5.0 focused education. And just adding on further upon what you mentioned earlier, how do you think we can enhance these efforts, and what role can universities and industries really play in maximizing their impact?
Well, I think with communities, we just really need to understand. And so part of Industry 5.0 is sustainability. And through sustainability, we need to look at emotional intelligence. We need to look at how we can bring people through and pay it back. Because these individuals that we're supporting will definitely go back to their home countries, pay it back, spread the word.
Mm,
And social impact, you really can't put a dollar amount on that. And what you get back, I think, is tenfold. So extending, being kind, being understanding of different perspectives and different needs of individuals, and where these individuals are coming from are key. And understanding is really important, especially when we're looking at international students. Oftentimes they're working full time, although they're not supposed to be, because our country is so expensive. I was an international student and I know what it is. I mean, I came from America and I was supposed to be affluent and I struggled. So, coming from a underprivileged community, English is not your first language. I barely understand the tip of the iceberg of what these students are facing. And I have a lot of empathy for them and I want them to succeed because they're doing something, breaking the mold, doing
Mm,
something different to better themselves, as opposed to having something so readily available to them. Because I don't think Australians actually understand how privileged they are to be able
mm.
to access university like they do. Even in the US, you're talking about $20,000, $30,000 a year to get a university degree. And in Australia, it is so accessible. It's mind blowing. And I think if we can get more people in and support them through their different individual needs, um, it would be an absolutely sustainable and wonderful experience for everyone, the givers and the receivers.
Definitely, most definitely, Dr. Campbell. I mean, at the end of the day, when you um, uh, developing these skills, right, and with all these students from different backgrounds and from underprivileged communities, and finally, once these skills are developed and you go back to your own home country, that social impact is truly precious. It's a treasure, right? And it's
Absolutely.
wonderful to see that that this is something which is of your passion and you're hoping to bring to our platform. Now, Dr. Campbell, thank you so much for sharing your insights and expertise with us today. Your dedication to education, mentorship, and international collaboration is truly inspiring, and we look forward to seeing how you can contribute to make a positive impact through ExpertGate.